stream and record at the same time. It wants me to update a driver. Darn it. All right. I'll deal with that later. Stream is starting up. And I'm going to get a, let me see, do I have a graphic, a picture to use for temporarily, since you don't have a video up today. Go look. Possibly. Possible. No, I do not. Okay. Do you have a... Oh, yeah, I know you do. You've got a picture on your sheet, don't you, Mirage? Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
All right. Save that image. I'm going to put that in here, and there, and there. And maybe in there. Possibly we'll get this going, and then we'll be ready. There. Is that maybe? Image. Alright, so you made it in. We haven't heard back. Oh, Vex is typing right now. We'll see what he has to say. Hopefully something good. Because we need...
Oh, God, excuse me. It's so hot here today. Oh.
It's all right for some. Bloody cold in the UK all the
I'm
time.
sorry, guys. I gotta excuse myself for a moment. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I'm sure it is cold in the UK. However, I'm sat here. I've got air cons running everywhere, and I'm still sweating buckets.
Anyone here?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Maybe.
PunkMaster has just had to step away briefly, but he'll be there in a sec. And Vex has said he can't make it.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, at least we have someone who knows more than fuck all about getting through electronic security systems.
We have two people that knows more than fuck all, we'll have you know.
Yeah?
Yeah. Marcellus has a little bit of knowledge, but nothing like...
But you never know. The dice might just decide, nah.
Yeah. That has been known to happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
It most certainly has.
Especially when you roll 1d10 and 1 is a fumble. It means you fumble 1 time in 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
On average. Which is quite often when you think about it.
Yeah. It's why, well, you know, when I run games, I generally handle fumbles a bit differently. because I thought a 10% chance of critically failing every single task was, you know.
Yeah, a bit off.
Hell, even when I run D&D, I do crit fails differently. And that's only a 5% chance.
Yeah. I mean, I will tend to do things such as if you don't have the skill and you're just rolling off your attribute, then the chances of you fumbling are going to be higher than if you do have the skill.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to use the fumble as just, well, roll again, and that's what you've got. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a critical fail.
For me, the way I did it is I did it the opposite of the critical successes. So I did it, so if you roll a 1, you subtract the number, you know, whatever the next d10 you roll, you know, because usually it's on the fumble table. That d10 you just subtract from your total result, and if the result is less than 10, then it's a critical fail.
Yeah, that's a reasonable way of doing it.
Yeah,
I think I would probably incorporate, you know, if you're just rolling off your attribute, if it's, you know, if you roll a 1, it's always a critical fail. Because sometimes people are rolling things on stupid attributes like body type 18. And then it's kind of like, you could roll a 1 and then not get under 10.
Yeah.
yep, quite easily.
I mean, there's a thing in the World of Darkness system, you know, for vampire, werewolf, etc., where you roll the dice and you see how many successes you get. If you get more 1s than you do successes, each 1 negates a success. So if you end up with a negative successes, then you know, you failed, and it's like a minor fumble. If you get no successes and 1s, then it becomes a critical fumble.
I think Shadowrun does something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, effectively, Shadowrun is more than, well, 5th edition is more than half your dice pool as 1s is a glitch, and if you had no successful dice, it's a critical glitch. So it's actually quite difficult, unless, apart from when you've got really low skill and associated attribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadowrun's a bittersweet thing for me. I really like it. I just don't like, you know, I prefer my fantasy being my fantasy and my cyberpunk being my cyberpunk. I don't like them mixing together. But yeah. I really actually like how Shadowrun works.
Oh, God, I don't. I've played Shadowrun for years. I mean, literally, I had 1st edition. I had the first copy of 1st edition that landed in the UK. It was, but it's far too complicated. There's far too many rules that don't make sense. It's messy.
And Cyberpunk 2020 is any different.
It's not as complicated. Not as bad. There's still plenty in there that doesn't make sense and overly complex.
I will say, I think one of the worst decisions I've ever had the pleasure of, you know, witnessing is using the advanced hit location table in Cyberpunk 2020. like, I'm sorry, but just F that.
Well, I mean, I will be quite honest. I actually quite like most of what I've seen of Red so far.
Yes, I agree. It's been a while since since I last looked at it. I remembered I didn't like everything. I liked it overall, but I didn't like everything about it. Oh, I remember what I didn't like. The fact that brawling is literally pointless.
No, it's not.
I mean, yeah, it is.
Brawling is not pointless.
I'm wearing an SP4 leather jacket. Your punches can't hurt me.
However, your chokes and throws can, and they both come off brawling.
Yeah, but I think, like, I dislike that because, I mean, it's the same in, well, it's similar in Cyberpunk 2020, except you can do punches and kicks. In Cyberpunk Red, you just can't. Like, you just have to do chokes and throws.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting it necessarily to be the same in the final rules.
I mean, I hope not, because, yeah. Just...
Yeah, have they got anything for you to basically respond with, you know, like you do when you get beta issues of games? And they basically have the thing for you to report back bugs or things that just go weird.
So they do and they don't. There is a group of playtesters who are not our Talsorian. They are random people who play our Talsorian games, and they do play testing and send in responses.
Yeah. Well, that's going to help.
I'm actually one of them. But obviously I can't discuss any of it because it's all NDA'd. But yeah, no, I am one of the playtesters.
Yep. I do think with things like that and people reporting back, you know, if they find things that are basically that's a glitchy or you've tried it and you keep thinking, what? Things like that, I think, really depend on the person and what their knowledge, what their real world knowledges are.
Oh, sure. And I mean, ultimately, whatever feedback we give, they can choose to take on board or choose to ignore.
Yeah. I mean, if someone is a gun enthusiast or, you know, used to be a Marine, that, you know, any response they make to the way the combat system with guns work is, you know, more valuable as a comment than someone who's never fired a gun in their life.
Also true.
It's one of the reasons when I run Cyberpunk 2020, I use the optional rules for body type and firearms, because having fired, you know, guns, I don't think someone with like body type 3 could handle like fully automatic on a 50 cal machine gun, because no. Probably wouldn't
not if they're carrying it, no.
But
you know, if it's on a fixed mount on the vehicle, no problem.
But yeah, that's on a fixed mantle. No, I mean just like carrying guns.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, Cyberpunk 2020, you know, it's a brainchild of the 80s. You can get a minigun that you can hold in your hands.
Yeah. I like I mean the body type modded optional piece. I do kind of like. Um, you know, there's aspects of the of Red in that jumpstart that I really didn't like. I didn't like the fact that, and I agree that yes, rifles generally are better than pistols or submachine guns or what have you, but to have them so much better.
Yeah, more damage, better range.
More
More
damage,
accuracy.
better range, more accurate. I will, having actually trained quite a bit, go, yes, they are more accurate, but they're more accurate, I find. I'm actually more accurate with a pistol in close quarter and shorter ranges than I am with a rifle.
Yeah, close quarter with a pistol. You're not aiming, you point.
Yeah,
Like you would with your finger, but you've got a gun in your hand.
effectively, yes.
And yeah, it's a lot easier to do that with a handgun than it is to do with a full-size rifle.
Yeah.
It's far, far easier. But I mean, even actually aimed shots, I'm better. Out to about 7 meters, I'm better and more accurate with a pistol than I am with a rifle. Then you're kind of in the 7 to 10. It's the SMG is probably about the best. And then beyond about 10 meters, generally I'm more accurate with the rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really comment. I think the shortest range that I've done shooting at is 25 meters.
Yeah. So one of the things I used to, when I was in South Africa before I moved to Mauritius, was I actually had a trainer in Joburg, and I don't know how they got it. They've never actually owned up to quite how they got it, but sometime in the early 80s, the GSG9 training videos arrived at their range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys are pretty damn good.
Those guys are pretty damn good. And the training videos, literally, these are projected onto a big screen and you shoot the screen and they're all filmed with live actors and everything else. So you are actually effectively running through the training scenarios that that were used in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's as real as you can get without shooting real people. And literally, when you hit them, they will go down because of the thing is set to read light through the back of the screen. So when a bullet hole appears, it can tell whether it's in the person or not.
Yeah.
And so I ran. I mean, I did quite a lot of that, and that's why I know, sort of range-wise, where where and what weapon I would use dependent on range. And out to about 7 meters, it was always pistol. I used others, but I was far better with the pistol.
But
As I said,
I think it's something that a lot of GMs miss, is, yes, they've made rifles so much better, but carrying a rifle around should cause you problems.
of course, it should. It should.
Because I don't think I've ever been in a Cyberpunk game where the players have been afraid to get rifles, apart from the ones that I've GM'd, just because it's like, if someone decides to carry a rifle around and I'm GMing, they just get in trouble. Whether it's with gangs, if they're in the combat zone, these gangs who think that this person's about to go shoot up part of their territory, or if it's the police, shaking down the player characters. There's always a problem.
I mean, I've always worked on the principle you only carry a rifle when you're geared up for war. Effective. The rest of the time, it's not. It's a pistol or maybe a compact SMG. And that's great. And but you know, if you take like the red jumpstart kit, there is no penalty for carrying a rifle because it's happening in your own home. If once you start doing other stuff, yes, but yeah, I mean, one of the things is the rifle in the red jumpstart kit is just outrageously better. It's easier to hit with every range, does more damage, and that was I do not deny rifles should do more damage. 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
100%, do not deny. But for certain applications and at certain ranges, they are not the most effective weapon.
No.
You try
it can
doing,
require a lot of movement.
They do.
When you're at close range.
They require a lot of movement when
you have to move your body, not your hand. If you want to do a proper aim shot, if you're hip firing, you can swing around a fair bit.
Yeah, but if you're hip firing, you ain't hitting anything.
Yeah, it's unlikely. And again, you know, when you actually run real tight quarter CQC corridor door-to-door stuff, rifles actually are a pain.
Yeah, something like the HK MP5s are good for that.
I mean, every time I've done like CQB and airsoft, I just leave my rifle. I'm just like, nah, there's no point. This is pointless.
Well, I mean, I used to play a lot of airsoft when I was in the UK, and almost predominantly CQB, and I never had more than a pistol.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I just get my pistol. Sometimes if I want to feel like a movie character, I'll go 2 pistols. Because, you know, why not?
Or the MP9, because that was just a beautiful gun.
Yeah, I mean, I can't afford it at the moment because I decided to upgrade one of my other rifles instead. But there's a new MP7 that's come out that's built like a rifle, not like a pistol, like the internals, I mean, which makes it so much better. But it's like £400, so I can't afford it. But that's a weapon I would use in CQB, like the MP7.
Yeah, MP7, MP9, the Evo.
Yeah.
I mean, the other one I used to use a lot was the gas blowback version of the Evo, which I can't remember what it's called now, by GHK.
I just have way too many issues running gas blowback guns in the UK where it's always cold.
I was in the UK and I only ran gas blowback guns.
But you're weird.
I owned one AEG and it got used once.
In fairness, I mean, I own 3. However, 2 of them are exactly the same model. They're both M14s. And yeah, one of those M14s as well is built as a DMR, so it's more powerful but locked to semi-automatic.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I pretty much only ran gas blowback. And I never suffered. I never really suffered. I mean, I played in the cold and everything else. I wasn't particularly outclassed or outgunned by people. But again, a lot of that was the way that I played and knowing how to move and how to shoot.
Yeah, last weekend, because most of the time, so as you might have guessed. Oh, hold on, that's the door. I'm expecting a parcel. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Was it the other day in the Shadowrun game? We came up against some cyber zombies, which are a lot tougher than we are.
Yep.
It took a lot to put one of them down. 1 out of 4, and a couple of the others were injured. But everybody in the party took injuries. One guy really bad, except me. I was making extensive use of cover.
Absolutely. Cover is very important.
Yeah.
Cover is very important. I mean, as I said, I've played plenty of Shadowrun. I still play the occasional game.
I really like it.
I've really gone sour on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think part of my problem is that I grew up and I started playing in '89 when when first edition came out. And
Same with me. I bought it the first day it turned up in the shop.
Yeah.
Back.
And it was great. And second edition, I actually still think is by far the best edition, personally.
Of what?
Shadowrun.
Yeah, I haven't played second edition, so I haven't played much Shadowrun, I'll admit.
Yeah. I found that in first edition, once you got the magic supplement, can't remember what it was called now.
Street Grimoire.
Yeah, that's it, the Grimoire. Magic characters suddenly became way overpowered.
Yeah, that's always been a bit of a problem with Shadowrun.
Yeah. Then in second edition, they changed that to they still had the power, but they changed the system on drain.
Oh yes.
So your drain was worse if you used your spell at your maximum power, then your target number for the drain was high.
Absolutely, and that was it. It created some balance. The problem was that you could still effectively go, oh, I'll just get a mage and get 10 spell locks.
Yeah. But the thing with that is when you're using spell locks, if one of the bad guys comes after you in Astral, from Astral, he can grant a spell into your spell lock that then goes down and explodes at your feet.
I agree. And that was the offset, which they've got rid of. Grounding doesn't exist in Shadowrun anymore.
Ah.
It's one of the things I hate. But basically, 5th edition and 6th edition, it might as well be called Magic Run.
One thing I will say I did like about Shadowrun is the fact that you can't really go one way or the other and just be invincible, because if you go super cybered, armored, crazy guy, then a mage sneezes in your general direction and you just die. But at the same time, if mages go all the way magic, a bullet looks in their general direction and they have a very bad time. Yeah.
That's why you get the thing in Shadowrun when you go into combat. The standard rule is for everybody is geek the mage, then go after everybody else.
Yeah.
The main thing for geeking the mage is to get rid of any spirits.
Yeah. God, that was one thing that pissed me off in Shadowrun 5. Spirits and some other creatures have this oh God, what do they call them when they have the special things?
Totems, fetish. I don't know what special things you mean.
It's like special powers, but they've actually got a name. I can't remember.
It's their various powers. I'm thinking you're probably thinking about immunity to normal weapons and the fact they have hardened armor.
Yeah, immunity to normal weapons doesn't mean they're immune to normal weapons. It means they have hardened armor at a rating of twice their force, which means normal weapons can hurt them and kill them. it's just not easy. You need
Well,
something
everyone,
big
I'm
and
on my way
powerful.
back here. I apologize. I'll be back in just a second. Yep.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no problems.
Yeah, but you see, the problem being is that I get, yeah, but if you can't harm, you know, it takes a lot to put a spirit down. And as a mage, you can, oh, I'm an elf. I've got 8 charisma. Oh, there you go. I've got 8 bound spirits of force 6. Let me just unleash them.
Yeah.
Go. And that's, yeah, that for me is just horrendous.
Yeah, especially as you could take that that merit to have the +1 to your charisma, so you could have 9.
Oh, yes. Yep. Yep. You could actually do that and unleash 9 bound spirits. Yes, you've got to bind them. Yes, you've got to summon them and bound them and what have you. But it's not that difficult to do.
No, I mean, if you've got some downtime between runs, which you should always have some downtime. You know, finishing a run, getting paid, and then you're Johnson saying, I've got another job, needs to be started now, is going to be something that's unusual.
Yep.
All right, guys. I am back. I apologize for that time. Family thing, emergency, basically. I had to go help with, whatever. But that's good now. I think we're okay now.
That's okay. We've just been chatting and what have you. So
Yeah, I appreciate that.
bitching about game systems, also saying what we like about them.
Game discussion, I like it. Yeah, I've thought about that. Might be interesting to just do a podcast type thing and just to talk about games, like kind of like we were doing last week when we started talking about Shadowrun and stuff.
Yeah,
Is just doing something like that periodically.
Yeah.
A show
why
of some
not?
sort.
You know, why not? You know, you do the things about you know, how things work in Cyberpunk. You know, so you know, why not have a discussion about similar games?
That was kind of what I was thinking too. That might be fun.
Yeah.
Might be fun to do. But yep. All right. Well. Okay. Is everyone still here, or did anybody have to leave or anything like that while I was gone?
We're all here.
Someone's mic is hurting
Yeah.
everything.
Somebody's mic is crackling. And it's not mine, because it's not on my channel. It's one of you guys.
Okay, let's try talking one at a time. Is it me?
No, is it me?
It was... Hold on, let me see.
I
That's a
think
good
it's
point.
you because I'm muted. I was muted and it was crackling.
Yeah. You think it's Impulse?
I think so because it crackled when Impulse spoke, and I actually muted my mic to see if it was mine.
Yeah, I haven't actually heard any crackling, so.
See, I have.
Yeah, I
If
was
it was
hearing
my
it
mic,
too, and I could see it on my on the power meter.
Yeah, I was hearing crackle as well. But it seems to have stopped.
At the moment, it seems to have stopped, so I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, once we go live.
Okay. Well, so Vex is tied up with work stuff, apparently, and I don't know from this message if that means he's going to be able to be here later or not, but he is at the moment not available, so...
Yeah.
So no Nomad, but we got everybody else, of course. All right, so we're only pushing 40 minutes in. We're just now ready to get started. We had to warm up. That's what it was. We had to warm up. All right. So if you guys are ready, if I wasn't if you weren't in the middle of something on your conversation that I was maybe interrupting, we will get started.
No, let's get
If you're
started.
ready for it.
Yes.
If you guys are
Yep.
good.
Get
Okay.
started.
Okay. Very good. All right. So, let's see. So we've dropped off the hive mind person at Doc Ox. We dropped him off and left him there. We have cased the offices and the shop for Robert Roberts. We were planning a break-in of Robert Roberts' offices to acquire stuff, information.
Yeah, data files, anything.
See what you could find.
You remember that computer that I got from the Japanese guy I killed on the bridge attack?
Mm-hmm. The case.
It's not. Yeah, the briefcase computer.
It was a jammer. That was the cell and radio jammer.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah,
you said
I
briefcase
believe.
computer.
Oh, I believe
Well,
that's what it
I wrote
was.
down.
Okay. Without going back and listening to the show, I thought that's what it was, because they did have one. There's one in each tower.
Yeah.
I can do. I don't know if I have
Okay,
that.
maybe you misspoke when you described it.
Maybe I misspoke something. I believe that's what it was. Without going back and listening, yeah, I don't know for sure.
But you remember the other couple of games ago when I said I wanted to buy some you can just get it in a shop stuff, which included like flash drives or external USB drives.
They call them
to
chips.
back up all my films.
Just reusable or memory chips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever the Cyberpunk version of a flash drive or an external hard drive is. To record all my stuff and to have more space because I'm going to be putting more on it with time, and to make sure that I've got enough backup memory in the computer that I use.
Okay.
You didn't give me a price on those, but I'll say those are things I can just walk into a shop and say, you can have 3 of those. They're not go through a fixer stuff.
Yeah, no, that's just if you're not getting anything, it's like military grade or something, and you're just getting extra removal and just chip. They're basically just they're chips that are very much like no, they're not that. They're chips. They're just like thumb drives, and you can buy them in different capacities. And I'm gonna say you can spend. It wouldn't be much. 100.
Yeah.
Spend 100, and you've got enough space to last you for a while. You can do that in a few big ones or several different sizes or whatever you want.
Yeah.
We'll say 10 a piece. Or between, let's say this, between 10 and 25 a piece. And I'm not going to get into memory units and all that crap because that gets. You have to come up with it or use a different set of rules almost to make it anything like current stuff. But anyway, between 10 and 25 a piece, if you spend 100 or 200, you'll have a few. You'll have some for backup for your computer and whatever. Unless you're going to do something other than just using them for backing up your videos, your recordings on your editing machine and stuff, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to take a couple of blanks with me, so when we get to Robert Roberts,
okay,
and we're going to try and steal some data, I can plug the thing in and we'll download the data onto
and try to do that
external. Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise we're going to have to have a printer running for 8 hours and stagger out with 32 boxes.
That probably wouldn't work.
No.
Okay.
Probably. Bearing in mind, we do have my Netrunner brother with me, so.
Yeah, but the stuff that we're looking for isn't on the net. He would actually have to come with us on the raid into the building.
He is.
I think that was
He's
the
up
plan.
to that. Yeah.
I think that was part of your plan. Of course, it's been a few weeks ago, real time.
Yeah, I'll take a couple of my blank drives with me in case, but I will be assuming that
There it is.
got computer shit.
Okay. You're going to take a couple of blank cards, but otherwise you're going to assume he's got the stuff that he needs.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, you guys got your... What did we call them? Did we call them... We didn't call them coveralls, or what did we end up calling them? Not jumpsuits, right?
No, basically work overalls.
Overalls.
We call them overalls in Britain.
Okay, that works. And so, what's your plan? Again, at this point, because it's been a week since we talked about it really in any detail. So, you're gonna try to go break in and get the stuff, but you've dropped off
the outdoor lock system to the loading bay was investigated, and then the doors and whatever inside the loading bay were investigated, if I remember correctly.
You got the doors at the loading bay, the doors on the inside of the mall. You got a door at the back of the shop that goes to the elevator that goes upstairs. Yeah. These are all potential points of entry. Windows or roof or something like that is a potential, except that there's a number of stories of residential above the offices, so roof probably wouldn't directly. You can't just go from the roof to their office.
That's an idea.
But this is like
if we try taking a lift, one of the ones that, instead of trying to break into the back doors and what have you, let's find the entrance where the people who live there go in. Go through that, then take a lift up to the residential areas above Robert Roberts, and then try to get into them by going down the stairs or whatever, so we get to their level.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea, because basically the longer we can go without raising any suspicions, probably the better. We're just a couple of, residents.
Yeah, we're going into, it's legitimate for people to come here and visit friends and family area. Rather than, the only way you could get here is by breaking in that door, then this door, and the guy pulls a gun.
Sure. I mean, remember that we've still all got to be seen at our block party and everything else.
Oh yeah.
Well, who was? You weren't all here. Marcellus, I think you weren't here, right? It was Stringer. Was Stringer Mirage?
Yeah, I was going to say. I think we already made sure we were seen.
Yeah, I was going around filming things and interviewing guys from the gangs.
Well, and Marcellus, you're as a player, you were not here when we did that.
Okay.
But I think. But I will say, yes, you were at the party too. You were seen. You were doing stuff. At some point, let's see. Marcellus was not involved in getting the dude to Doc Ox, but at some point there in the evening, Stringer and Mirage waylaid, absconded with one of the hive mind types, and dropped him off at Doc Ox for examination.
Yeah.
It is unknown why they didn't contact Marcellus to assist, but they didn't, so you weren't involved in that.
Yeah, did I have any success in recruiting Doc Ock?
In what?
To when I was going
you weren't,
around
oh, right.
various gangs.
We didn't actually do you're talking to him, and we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't do a roll, but I would be basically the same.
That was one of the
lines. So don't need to role play it out again.
No, you can just do the same roll. What was it? Plus 2 or plus 3, plus 3, and it was persuasion. Was it we did?
Persuasion, fast talk, and we were doing.
We'll just do that real quick. Just doing that one. What was the other roll? I don't remember.
It should be on the thing if you scroll back up the.
Yeah. Human perception. Well, you were sometimes. I don't think you did it on every one of them. You're doing or maybe you were human perception. No, okay. Yeah, I'm scrolling back through it. You did a human perception on some of them, but not all.
Yeah, I think I was doing human perception on those that were less enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Trying to work out why they were.
Okay. So so the really basic with him is he is interested in preserving the area as it is. He's not extreme. He's not leaning in a big way to either side though.
Yeah.
He's willing to help. He's willing to be involved in stuff, but he's not like jumping up and down excited to go do it like some other people.
Yeah. With him, I'm going to lean more on, if you can make yourself available so that people know they can, run to you with wounded friends.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to see if he's going to go out on the street with a gun.
Okay.
Because he's more valuable being a doctor than a.
He does say his office is always open.
Yep.
Literally. Okay. So you got the trial. Marcellus, you're at the party somewhere, which to do a quick, the block party, you got the bozos set up a quick recap because you didn't necessarily hear it. The bozos set up some fair type stuff, like a kind of a pie in the face type booth, except it's darts in the face.
Ugly.
And people were volunteering to do it. And there's that. They were doing a couple other things, just bozo type, clown type stuff.
I'm also going to volunteer to do that.
That's right. You were going to volunteer to do that at some point. But
that's something where I'm a minor celebrity in Night City, but I'm one of the few celebrities that actually lives in Charter Hill. So it should bring in some people to want to throw darts at me. But it's also something that people will talk about.
Okay, we're gonna do this really quick. Do a single dodge and escape roll. No bonuses or anything.
Yeah.
I just need to do something to determine if you get hit during your stint.
I'll throw darts at you.
Marcellus shows up. And starts pays his fee to the bozos and his €5.
No, I wouldn't do that to Stringer. Besides which, I'm supporting my brother who's supplying the music, the band.
That's right. There's a big stage. So several people throw some darts out. You do get hit once or twice, but nothing too serious.
Well, I've got the skin weed, so it's not really going to hurt. Okay,
so from the perspective of people throwing the darts, these are real steel tip, the short steel tip bar darts, right? But when you get hit with one, you do get scratched a little bit, but the very point of the dart mostly is a spring loaded, and it mostly goes back into the dart. So you get scraped a little bit. It's obvious you got hit, but it's not like put a hole in you and stuck there, and you got darts hanging off your face. Okay.
But the person who hit me can see a bit of blood.
But they can see blood, and they cheer, and they get a little prize of some sort. Let's see. So there's that. The stage. Your brother is rocking out. There've been multiple bands play. They set up a stage. A couple of trucks, big trucks showed up, and these in like 30 minutes, stagehands set up a stage, an outdoor stage, speakers, the whole thing, and they're rocking out. Oh, what else you didn't hear, Marcellus? There was earlier. There was a big announcement, press conference, an announcement that the city and Militech were pleased to approve the permitting for the block party this evening. that they were very happy that the promoters of the party were willing to go through the process and fill out the paperwork and so on and get approved to go ahead and have the party tonight, even though there's the curfew. That they generously and so on waived the curfew for this evening so that the block party could happen.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Which does kind of put a dent in the entire fuck you and your curfew.
Yeah, but remember,
Attitude.
we were going fuck you to Arasaka more than to Militech.
Yeah.
But in
That may
Militech,
change after this run.
yes, there might be.
That may.
There might be other events yet tonight too. Militech has had, as I stated, I believe before, Militech has vehicles in the area. They have some people stationed at either end of the block. They are, for the most, they're not interfering. They're not getting involved. They're just there. They're making their presence known. But so far there haven't been any incidents or anything. But well, that more or less, and the other guy, the Western Stars, did set up a show. Basically, the groups that have set up shows, set up stands or something. There's a tent and a whole area that some people from the Joy Hotel set up, and that's in one little area, and they're very popular. That's a very popular tent.
Yeah. I think
But
that when this job is done, we drop off the evidence and we pay a trip to the Joy Hotel tent. That way, if there is any investigation, which I don't think there will be because we're going to be wearing masks and they shouldn't be able to identify us, but just in case, we've got the, we were kind of busy with some horizontal refreshments for why we weren't seen for an hour and a half.
right. So that's where you
Okay.
guys. So you've been at the party. You've had some fun. You've done your stuff. You dropped off the dude at Doc Ox. He's gonna check him out when he can. Here, it's been a pretty busy evening for him, but you'll keep an eye on the guy. Make sure he stays unconscious and check him out as soon as you can, as you guys asked.
Yep.
So what you gonna do?
While we're heading back towards the square, I'm going to keep an eye out for any of these other pod people. Yeah, to see if when we appear, we end up with every one of them staring at us.
Yeah, they still staring at us when we get back.
Yeah.
Actually, you don't see any now. You guys come back. You're not seeing anybody. You come back through an alley or two, and then around the corner, back onto the block where the party's going on. Well, go ahead. If each of you, Marcellus and Mirage, since you guys are looking, or excuse me, Marcellus, pardon me, Stringer and Mirage, if you guys would run awareness notice, roll awareness notice. And actually, Marcellus, you've been just having fun at the party and stuff too while you were gone. If you want to also roll an awareness notice.
Sure.
21, not bad.
Natural 10 for Mirage.
Yep.
Get those out. Yeah, get those out of your system right now. Good job.
Yep.
No, this is all fair for the number of ones I rolled last session.
Right.
Yeah.
Gee, can we tell which one's the solo?
I wonder.
No idea.
All right, so it is enough in any case. So, Mirage, you are paying it. You asked. You are not seeing any of those stiffly walking hive mind types. You don't spot any of them anywhere in the group or on the block. As you come back around the corner, you get back into the crowds. It is, by the way, very, very, very crowded. There's 10,000 people on this block right now, having fun and partying and drinking and all kinds of stuff and doing all
I
kinds
just had a
of
quick thought.
drugs.
You know how the solo adds his combat sense to other skills?
Mm.
Is there anything that my credibility adds to. I haven't got the because I'm using the resurrected PC. I haven't got my PDFs of Cyberpunk on it. So, I check myself.
I think on occasion your credibility might be used for a given roll, but not every time that something is rolled like a solo would do. You know what I mean? Like honestly I'd have to look it up again, but I think
I could see it being used for interview.
Credibility is really useful for persuading people that you should actually be in that place where you're not supposed to be.
Well, that's just why you got the bonus to your persuasion, for example. That's why you got that +3, was between your rep and your credibility. Yeah. Mirage, you didn't see any of those people wandering around. You do see Marcellus in the crowd, which you hadn't spotted all evening so far, but now you spot him over there. Stringer, you do not notice any of the hive mind types either, and that's and there's a hell of a lot of people. There are even more people here than when you left 15 minutes, 20 minutes ago, when you guys left the block. You come back, and it's even more crowded. There's even more people here.
Yeah. Also, one thing I just remembered that I checked on. You remember those duffel bags that I snaffled?
Right.
There's 4 radio transceivers, 1 in each bag. So
I was wondering if you guys were ever
going
to. I was wondering if you guys were ever going to, go back and use those.
Yeah, I'm going to use one of those. And if anyone else hasn't got a transceiver,
the problem was nobody else did.
Borrow this. Yeah, they can borrow this until they can buy one of their own.
So you can
I've had one from day one.
You have, just nobody else did.
Yeah.
I was sensible enough to get both the radio, both the tiny mic and a cell phone.
Yeah, I've got the cell phone.
Yeah, I didn't have enough money for either.
Yeah. I've now got 3 spare cell phones. Taken off dead guys.
In case you guys have forgotten, I started with like 600 Eurobucks.
Yeah.
Mirage is broke, guys, okay? Yes. She needs money. And the first job you get into with these guys is one that's not going to directly pay you anything.
I know. It's great.
Marcellus, do you
want to borrow one of the radio transceivers or not?
I think it would probably be useful.
Yeah. I'm also going to take some glow sticks, just in case.
And some glow sticks.
Yeah, I put 3 or 4 in a pocket.
Okay. Marcellus,
Tactical rave.
Have spotted several people said hi here and there, or had a drink with somebody, that kind of fun stuff. Do all the stuff you do at a big block party.
Yeah.
Marcellus, there were a couple of nearly people getting into fights, but it calmed down. Sometimes there's a punch or two thrown here or there, but it calmed right back down. In general, it's just been a good party. No problems.
Cool.
No significant problems. You have not until it's getting into the evening. It's I don't remember what we said last time. I think it's after midnight or 1 or something at this point already. Was that correct? Do you guys remember? Mirage Stringer?
I think so.
Yeah, we were aiming to get to the building at around 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So it's a midnight 1-ish, give or take. You had not until just now spotted your compatriots there, Mirage and Stringer. Vex has yet to be seen. Even though you hadn't seen him around recently, really expected him to be at this party. He's not one to usually miss a party. So, but you haven't seen him. But anyway, you see the other two. And
I wave at Marcellus.
As you spot them, Mirage spots you, and you lock eyes and wave at each other. And it's up to you guys what you want to do from there.
Yep. Go home, change.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, okay.
Just kind of make our excuses, slip away, make sure I grab ice pick.
Right. I was like, it took me a second to remember that Ice Pick is your brother, the Netrunner.
Yeah.
It is. Yes.
I was like, you're grabbing an Ice Pick? Okay.
See,
I
I
guess
thought
there's a
that's
run
just.
around.
I thought that's just what he named one of his guns.
Nope. That's my little brother, Ice Pick.
Yes.
Oh.
Uh,
Naming guns, my Malorian is called Lucille.
Speaking of guns, how are we going? Just pistols, I'm guessing. Concealed.
well, you guys get into your condos. You're gonna go change. As you're walking through the doors, you meet up so you can have whatever conversations you want. There are a dozen as you guys come inside in the lobby of the walking stiff types in the lobby as you guys walk in. They do kind of watch you and are looking your direction, but most of them are looking out the windows out at the block party.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be stopping you or walking towards you specifically or anything.
Right.
Yeah, fine.
So you can have your conversation or go to somebody's room and do so, or whatever you guys want to do. Just play away.
I mean, look, ultimately, if you want to carry a duffel bag and have rifles, you can, or we just take pistols.
I dislike Zoom.
What'd it do?
I'm going to take just pistols. I'm not very good with rifles. I can use them, but I'm not very good. So
Yeah, I'm kind of shit with rifles as well, so pistol it is for me. But yeah, Zoom just like closed itself. That's yeah.
Weird. Okay.
I'm pretty good with a rifle, I'm good with a pistol, and then there's just me.
You're not bad hand to hand either, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Then there's just me. So ultimately, I don't need the rifle. I've got multiple Malorians.
Yep. What are you thinking?
Which actually hit heavier than the rifle that I own.
What was that?
I said, which actually hit heavier than the rifle I own. So, just pistols. Keep it low key.
So Marcellus, you're just gonna take your two Malorians, right?
Yeah, I'll take
Right.
two of the three Malorians I've got, and
Okay.
I will have a set of nunchucks.
Instead of nunchucks. All right. Impulse, what are you taking for weaponry?
Brass knuckles and the Arasaka pistol that I got cleaned.
Okay. And Mr. Stringer, what are you taking for
Stone Layer
weapons?
Type 35, and the pepper pot. The pepper pot
Right.
can go in the shoulder holster underneath the overalls, and
Yeah, I've got my suppressor as well, but I'm not. It's not on the gun at the moment.
Taking it with you, but it's not on the weapon. Okay, not.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
because it
And
makes it really fucking long.
Yeah, suppressor is nunchucks or fists and feet.
right.
I've got those as well, but you never know.
Okay. So you guys have accumulated your stuff,
yeah, I'm also going to take some zip tie cuffs just in case.
gotten changed. So now you're in your coveralls. You're taking some zip tie cuffs, okay? And where are you gonna meet, or where you went to your corners, to your rooms, got changed, and where are you gonna go from there, or where are you gonna meet?
Meet in the car park.
The
Yeah.
garage. All right.
Yeah, the garage. Yeah, because that
Yeah.
way it means avoiding the
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 lobby.
stiff bots.
yeah
So are you taking the stairs up and down, or the elevators?
Stairs.
stairs.
Marcellus, what about you?
Yeah, it's always stairs.
Okay, just gotta ask.
Don't like
Yeah.
kill boxes.
All right, very good. So yeah, one at a time. You end up back in the garage.
Yep, I'm taking my smart glasses with the low light and anti-dazzle.
Okay. So you got low light and AD on your goggles, and
And they're smart
Starmire and the
goggles,
pod-
so
yeah, they're the smart goggles, right? Yeah. All right.
when we get there, I'll do what I have to do to turn the smart on and shit. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I'm ready, I'm ready. I'm
The-
not draw the gun, plug shit in, turn stuff on.
the
I've got
goggles.
my
Oh,
light
go ahead. Sorry.
I've got my light booster goggles. I've got my B&E tools and electronic toolkit. Got a flashlight. I've also got a Colt Enforcement 10 pistol as well.
Just as a backup.
Well, you know, unless I'm going up, there's no. The Malorian is a bit overkill.
It's a lot. It's a pretty heavy weapon.
Sometimes.
You know.
Sometimes using a lighter pistol is better.
Yeah. I don't have my Malorian at the moment. It's being pimped.
It's still over at Coils.
Yeah.
All right. So one at a time.
So is
Yep.
the
You
sniper
will,
rifle.
and so is your rifle. You'll show up at the garage. You got the depending on which level you go to, or you meet, if you just meet right outside on the main level or whatever. But anyway, the bus
door.
meet just outside the door from the lobby. Okay. So yeah, when you guys come out of, each of you, as you come out the stairs, you will see that they are there's a dozen-ish of them in the lobby. They are all staring out toward the street when each of you come down. None of them seem to turn or even notice that you came out. And yeah.
Well, that's good. I wonder if they're all looking for the guy who's missing.
Possibly.
So you come out into the garage. You got the buses out here, depending on which level, but the bus is out here. And one of them, Vex's bike is not here. You'll notice. Let's see. That's the only vehicles, pretty much. Well, there's other vehicles in here, but there's only vehicles of yours. There is another bike. There's a couple of other bikes in here, by the way.
Yep. Not that we've run on the stealing them, but
Just side note. There is a over on one side in the corner. There's a rather large boxy looking thing with a tarp over it. You know that it would be Bullet's AV.
All right, well, I think
talking
AV.
of AVs, I'm waiting for a phone call from my
Yeah, you
Jacker.
sent the Jacker over there, and you also sent what was the other people?
I sent the
Somebody
black
else.
tacos to the collapsed
black
building
tacos.
that still had
Right.
one in the basement.
You sent the black tacos over there, and last you heard they were excavating. The last time you walked by earlier. So yeah, go ahead. Anyway, Marcellus, what were you saying? Sorry?
What I was saying is, if we've got the full team of 4 there, then I think it's time for us to slip away and make our way to Robert Robertson.
Yep. Just however you guys are going to handle getting there.
Get a cab to about a block away.
Oh, and
Maybe
I assume
two-
you guys haven't put your masks on yet.
No.
No,
Just checking. Okay.
Yeah, got them rolled up so they're like beanie hats.
Right. The
And then
But they
when we
got
need
rolled
to, we
up.
pull them down.
so
Yeah.
you've all got the hat, the things with them rolled up. You're all wearing those.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. And your coveralls.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Why not? You call
And a coat too.
And a big black duffel full of stuff. And you've got your B&E and your repair. You've got a bag of tools and stuff. Yeah, a toolkit.
What
bag.
did you say the armor value was for the coveralls? Was it 4 or 5?
Well, there was an option of a 5. But I don't remember which ones you guys got. Or if that was left. Actually, as I recall, you correct me if I'm wrong, this was the one that ended up going.
I'd have
So,
got the,
yeah, I
I'd
was
have
going to
got
say,
the 5s.
you got the 5s. Okay. So, you got the 5s. The only
Actual armor.
The only thing I didn't ask is, are you guys wearing any other armored clothing or stuff
No,
in addition to
just
the
the skin
coveralls?
weave and the coveralls.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Very good. All right.
because screw layering.
That's why I was going to ask if we were going to need to get into that.
Yeah. And Metal Gear and a flak jacket on top of that and a steel helmet.
And that's all inside
Hey.
NACPA.
Right. So you can do these things. It just
Yeah,
may
I'm
have an
not
effect
going
on your rolls.
Yeah. As they stack up, each one knocks off a layer from your initiative. One from your initiative. On
Depends.
top of-
Each one,
Depends on the type of armor. What your
I think
penalty
it's
is.
I think it's reflex and movement allowance is what it screws up.
Yeah, reflexes what I meant, not initiative or but
Well, not directly initiative per se, but it affects your reflexes,
Yeah.
which in turn affects.
that's on top of any effect on the reflexes that say Metal Gear has, which is -2.
Yes.
But as far as Metal Gear is concerned, I'll take the -2 to have the 25.
I was going to say, like, who needs to dodge attacks if attacks can't hurt you?
Okay, but to be clear, all of you are only and including now Icepick will pick. Icepick will have his coveralls. He does not have skin weave, so he just has the coveralls, and he has his tools. He has his deck, his stuff, his gear.
Yeah.
And everybody else is just skin weave and
As he
coveralls.
hasn't got the skin weave, does he want, if I've got one that fits, that those armored tactical bodysuits that I've got? Because they're SP12.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if that would fit. We didn't take
I've
that
got a
into
size 5.
account.
A size 8 and a size 10. I don't know what his body is.
Marcellus, did we determine? I think we did determine. But do we remember what his body type is?
I'm thinking the 5 might fit him. But
Go ahead, Marcellus.
I think we determined he was just a pretty average build person.
Okay, I agree. I think that's what it was, but I wasn't sure if somebody else remembered for certain. So yeah, we'll say he's a 5, and he will definitely take you up on the other jumpsuit or whatever it was.
yeah, and if he hasn't got one, a radio transceiver.
Okay, he will take one of those from you as well. Yes, except one of those. So everybody has these are radio transceiver. It's the over-the-air type. Well, except for Marcellus, you already have your mastoid mic and radio set up, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you've got yours. Everybody else is wearing the over-the-air type with the little piece that comes down the jawline and goes tight against the jawline. Works basically like a mastoid.
Yeah.
And
Also, if Icepick wants, I can lend him a set of those glasses, low light and anti-dazzle.
sure, that sounds cool. He takes them, he puts them on.
Yeah. Has he got a pistol?
Yes,
Okay.
he actually has a Springfield Armory pistol, handgun, very heavy.
Mm.
That he probably paid way too much for.
Probably.
But okay,
But,
so
being a decker, why can't he go on the net look up something like this, find out what the proper price is.
Well, what he
So
did
he
is
knows-
right. What he did was he looked up reviews and stuff, found what had the highest reviews that he thought he could handle, and the best, of course, would be like a Lorian, but he can't handle one of those. So, and he doesn't wear a glove and all that crap. So, yeah, the Springfield was the next. Decided was the best. But he paid too much for it in that he wanted one that was modified, which means getting it through a fixer or a dealer or something, and you pay what they're asking or what you can negotiate. And negotiating with fixers selling weapons dealers isn't exactly his highest strong point.
Yeah.
So
well, if he actually says anything about what he paid for it, I'll tell him next time. Come to me. I've got an old friend.
It is a Royal Enfield Spitfire 12mm, and it has because you guys will see it as you're changing, getting ready, or as he comes out. It's got a scope on it, and it's got some kind of a smart chip, and he actually has live wires for interface that he uses with interface as interface cables, but they'll work with the weapon too.
Yep.
Okay. So
That's
you're all in
something
the
I'm going to
garage
look into getting after therapy.
after therapy.
They have live wires.
You do. I love live wires. I think that's one of the cooler pieces of cyberware.
What are live wires?
Live wires. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, Marcellus, if you'd like to go ahead.
They're basically autonomous interface cables that you can that you can implant anywhere in your body, and then they will snake out on command and click into things. They're fabulous.
And how much is the humanity lost on that?
Not as much as you would think.
Not that bad. I have 2 live wires. I have one in each arm, and I lost humanity-wise for 2. I lost 6 on each one.
Oh wow, you must have rolled. I'm trying to remember what their cost is, but you must have rolled high on those. I'm thinking because I didn't think they were that high.
Yeah, you seem to forget that I roll pretty grimly.
You rolled badly for all of your. Yeah.
All my cyberware implants, I was at pretty maxed out.
Well, the only one I've got that I had to roll for was the skin weave, and I rolled pretty good, 5 on 2d6.
Yeah, the skin weave was the one thing that actually was quite good because I got 6 on 2d6.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I got a different skin weave to you guys, so.
Right.
Anyway,
so you're calling a combat cab or what? Or are you going to call one of those little robot cabs or who?
A regular cab.
Yeah, just standard cab.
So combat cab or basically you've got you got I'm going to give you your robo cab, the Johnny cabs. You got combat cab, you got execu cab, and then there's a couple of higher ones and a couple of independents. But basically, those are your options. When you say regular cab, which one? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just a robo cab, I think.
Robo cab. Okay. So the robo cabs will hold 2 people each. And there are 4 of you, so you need 2 of them. 2 to 3. Yep. If you had it's possible Ice Pick could squeeze in as a third person, maybe, depending on who was riding with them. So you call 2.
If I was one of the people, I've got body 6, so I'm not a big guy.
We're not going to get 4 people in one.
Well, and you're not wearing your Metal Gear or anything either. But you're not getting but you're not getting 4 in one cab in any case. So you got to call 2 of them.
No, so we'll have 2 cabs.
So they after just a few minutes, about 8 to 10 minutes, you get a notification pop up on your phone that they are waiting outside. And actually, did you specify where you want them to pull up? Because they're not going to come into the garage. They can't. They don't have access. Unless you
No, like-
go open the garage door for them, I guess.
We'll tell them, like, say, west side entrance or where, whichever side the entrance is on. I'm
Okay.
assuming that the entrance into the garage has the big door for vehicles and probably a person door next to it. Usually
yes, that
they
is
do.
correct. And it does, yes. So that works.
So if that's on the west side of the building, I'll ask to be picked up on the west side.
Okay.
Or name the
Wherever that
we
door
know
is.
the name of the streets that go around our building.
It would seem likely
though
you would
that-
know these things.
Yeah.
So yes. Okay. So you outside the garage in any case, not at the. No, you don't try to tell them to just go to the front door or anything. That would be
No.
more difficult. Okay. They will. Yeah, you get the notification that they're waiting for you outside. And timer
Head out
comes
the,
up. They'll wait the 3-minute timer comes up, and if you want them to wait longer, you have to pay for them to wait longer.
Yeah.
Yep, that's cool.
Are you heading out
Yeah,
there?
those things with the big garage door and then the the person door next to it is like old castles having the big door with the portcullis, so the postern gate, which was a small door for making sallies and raids out of the side.
Right.
Just the same design concept
They're basically
being
the
used
same,
on
similar.
on modern buildings that was being used on 800-year-old castles.
Pretty much.
Pretty
Slightly
much.
different reason, but
Oh, okay. Well, I just found it. By the way, I was wrong on live wires. It is a higher humanity than a cost than I thought. It's 2 die 6 each.
Yeah.
I thought it was less than that for some reason. But anyway,
This would explain why I've never.
yep. The cost is not bad. They're $200 a set, but a unit, whatever. But the 2 die 6 was more than I thought it was. Anyway, okay. Anyway,
we'll go out.
so-
Get in the cabs. I'm guessing I'll go with Ice Pick. And Stringer and Impulse can Mirage, sorry, can jump in the other one.
Sure.
Yep. Makes sense. One large person and one small person in each cab.
Yeah, basically.
basically, yep. Okay.
And also, you've then actually got in each cab someone who can actually potentially override the robot and take control of the cab if they needed to.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys hop in the cabs. Yep, you hop in. You don't have any trouble. You get in. The doors come down and latch, and they zoom away. Where did you say you were going to have them stop?
A block away from it, if there's a bar in that block, we'll stop outside the bar.
Yep.
Okay. That would not be hard to find a bar. A bar in Night City. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it won't be. Actually, you're going to have to go past. I assume you don't want to go in the direction of the police station, probably.
Nah.
All right, so yeah, you have to go a couple blocks past, further north than your target building. There is a place there. You set it up. They take you there. They stop. They charge you. What do they charge you? Let's find out what they charge you. Now there is a fee for being picked up in the combat zone, and you also, just a note for the robot cabs. Sometimes they'll come to that area, and sometimes they won't, and sometimes it depends on exactly where you want them to pick you up. They're using real time reports of crimes and gang activity data and all that to decide if they are willing to go into a given area. Both cabs is €600 this time, and most of that is the fee for going into the combat zone half a block from that block party.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking, it is. Seriously, it is ridiculously expensive to get cabs in Night City.
Yeah, that's 150 each.
Yeah, I've just paid 300.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's insane. A cab ride costs more than putting cyberware in your body.
Well, if you guys didn't live in the area you were in, or didn't, in most cases, weren't taking rides that go across, like, from one end of town to the opposite end of town, you know.
Yeah, just live in the moderate zone. Easy, right?
Yeah, just live in
Well, it
moderate
was a
zone.
moderate zone when we moved in. Fuck's sake. Like, next time we'll get combat cabs because they only charge about the same amount.
It probably, if you combat cab, assuming that there wasn't combat cab, there are occasions, there are parts of town that they won't go to, but they will go to almost every part of town almost any time, and they do not charge you extra for it.
Yeah, they've picked us up in the combat zone before.
They will depends on it. It varies a little bit, but depends on the driver and stuff. But combat cab will pick you up in the middle of a firefight. You could be in the middle of a firefight, and they will evac you effectively, assuming that they can get in and open their doors and stuff without getting shot. And depending on that situation, if they have to expend ammo in their or your defense during the call to pick you up or during your ride, you do get charged extra for that. But anyway.
Yeah, that's understandable and worth it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes perfect sense.
So, you get dropped off at this bar.
€3 fucking Eurobucks for a jolly cab.
Ridiculous.
Thank you for riding with Johnny Cab. See you next time.
There won't be a next time.
And there's a little. Yeah, there's a little printer in each of the cabs, and in one of them, in Marcellus and yours, a little thing prints out. This didn't happen last time you were in one of these.
What's it print out? Some fortune cookie wisdom. Your horoscope.
Well, it's Marcellus and Ice Pick in that cab, so.
Yep.
You gonna look at it?
Oh, well, yeah, let's see what it prints out.
It's a coupon. 10% off your first round at this bar.
Okay, lovely. Well, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, so you take it, you guys get out. As soon as you're out, the doors close, and they both drive away.
Yeah. Okay, we'll walk towards the building.
Okay.
Yep.
Bloody extortionate for a cab.
Yep.
Okay, so as you are walking, you do see. I don't have that book out right now. It's okay, actually. I do have that book out. So as you're walking toward the building, there is a group of the Silver Slash that walk past you, and they are looking for a moment. This is a group that are just extreme fanboys of a metal band, but they're so extreme they form their own gang. They're looking at you, they're eyeing you guys up and down, and they decide to keep on walking. They don't harass you or mess with you at all.
Yeah.
Good.
So I was about to say, do I know any lyrics from any of their songs?
Probably would.
Even if I don't
chance.
like metal, there's a chance that something that was in the charts. But if they've gone past, doesn't matter.
Marcellus, you will notice that Ice Pick is like a little kind of weary and almost like he's going to reach for his Spitfire, but then he stops himself and is okay.
I shall just sort of go, just keep it calm, bro. Keep it calm.
As you recall, he doesn't have the highest cool. Go ahead.
I know. I'm here.
Yeah.
I've got your back.
All right, bro. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. He goes. He kind of whispers, Marcellus. He kind of whispers to you. He says, "Let me. It only lasts for about 15 minutes, but let me know if you think I should do one of those shots that helps keep me cool."
I will.
And he whispers, but not very well. Not very quiet. Not as quietly as it probably should have been. Anyway, so you guys can get to the building. Which part of the building you're headed to?
The residential entrance.
Mm.
So there is inside the mall. There is a relative. It's like 2 or 3 shop wide area. You go inside the regular mall entrances, and then there's a big area that's open that's lots of people all the time. There's people walking in and out of this area. It is the entrance to the residential area of the building. And once you get in there, it's kind of like a lobby, like a hotel lobby type area. There are elevators. There are stairs. There are 3 sets of 2 elevators and 1 stairs. As you come in the open area, there's 1 set right in front of you, one each to your right and left. And if you look up at all, this area is like 4 stories high. This lobby area, big open area.
Yeah. How many floors up did I go in the lift when I went to Robert Roberts?
Their offices are on the 5th floor.
Yeah. So if we head into the lift and hit the 6th and hit 6, we don't use the stairs for this because we're guys coming here to do a repair. We don't expend energy climbing stairs when there's a lift.
Right. Not if you can avoid it.
This isn't the lift in our building, which has a reputation.
Yeah, this is a lift that's in a more reputable part of town.
True. And a relatively nice building. Appears to be well maintained and everything. All that fun stuff.
Yeah. If anybody asks, we're here to deal with a toilet block and backflow. Don't say we're here to check out the lifts, just in case the damn thing does break down, because then we'll be sort of stuck in there and we won't know what the fuck at all to do.
Yep.
And we've just told them, we're lift engineers.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
No, I completely agree.
So at whatever point you guys have that particular conversation, Ice Pick will pull out this. He's got this box of flips it open, and it looks very much like a micro SD card box. It's got to have at least a dozen different little chips in it, and he kind of flips through them a little bit, and he picks one out after you mentioned you were gonna be plumbers. He pulls one out, looks at it, and reaches behind and opens a little port and plugs in the back of his neck. There he goes.
Well, I've already got my basic tech chip plugged.
He has basic tech as a skill, but that's a plumbing specific chip. An expert skill in plumbing. He tries to be prepared for this kind of stuff. He was trying. Anyway, so...
Oh, you mean so if we do end up talking to someone and saying we're here to deal with the backed up toilet, now he's put the plumbing chip in, he'll be able to talk about pipes and pressures and bollocks.
He might actually be able to bluff his way through something. Maybe.
Yep.
So straight ahead, left or right? Which set of elevators you guys want to go to?
Press the button, whichever one turns up first.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
Okay. When you push the button, you wait. About 30 seconds, a minute. One of them dings. And it is... Not that these, big deal, but... it's one of the ones right in front of you, actually. Doors open. Some people get off. And what do you do? Get
When
on.
they get off, we'll walk in.
Just making sure
Yeah,
nothing else. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here on legitimate business as far as anyone else is concerned.
Exactly.
Four other people get in with you. And they're
Yeah.
leaning over and hitting a button here and there. One of them actually leans over and puts their wrist up against a plate and hits a button on the 50th floor and steps back.
Yeah, penthouse,
And
I assume.
yeah, it would be the 50th floor. Appears to be the top floor. And
Yeah.
what else? That's it. That's what happens. So, are you guys? You said you were going to get the button for the 6th floor. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 6th floor. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, it happens before you know it. Before that person finished scanning their wrist or whatever they did and hitting the top floor button, the doors are opening on the 6th floor. It's a
Yeah.
very fast elevator.
And just walk out, turn left. So we're seen to be walking as if we're going to somewhere. And then as soon as the
Yep.
doors close,
You guys walk out. Okay.
I say
Nobody
first thing.
Nobody else gets out with you. This is another floor of offices.
Yeah.
So you get out, and there is a small lobby area. This is the only elevator that actually opens in this. There are these two elevators are the only two that open in this area that you're standing in.
Yeah.
And there's hallway going left, right, and straight ahead.
How about stairs?
There is the stair. Well, there's the stairwell that's right next to the elevator, right to the one side of the
Yeah.
bank of elevators.
That
Yeah.
will take us down to the Robert Roberts floor.
Yep.
So basically, we're getting right up to the Robert Roberts door without having to do any hacking or breaking in or anything. And for people who saw us, we're just we're workmen in overalls and
Uniforms, because you're all matching beanies or look, not beanies per se, but the knit.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. We're a team of workmen
That's it.
employed
That's it.
by the same company.
Right.
yeah.
Been
Anyone who's seen
subcontracted
it.
out to come fix this toilet because someone did a massive shit in one.
Yeah.
Did you,
Absolutely.
Marcellus? Did you get logoed coveralls by chance?
If they were available, yes, I would have done.
Well, they were available. They have these Velcro spot, and then you can buy patches,
Oh, yeah. In which case, absolutely.
and you could even have patches made if you'd wanted. They were done, and they do them on demand.
Yeah. You
So
turn up
the-
with a patch that says Harry's House of Dildos. And when anyone questions you, say, "Yeah, we've got an emergency."
Right.
We've got an emergency. It's not pretty.
Yeah.
It never is.
Okay then. Yeah. So you can get pre-made patches with people's names on them. They have several hundred to pick from. If you want a business name or something like that, you could have had it made. What did you want? You wanted to get some patches. What kind of patches did you want to get? Get some that say like Egon and Ray and so on, right?
Yeah. Effectively. There's just basically four random male names or four random
okay.
names.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys get out of the elevator. You're going to go to the stairs. You're going to try to go back down to the 5th floor is your intention, right?
I hope you got 3 male names.
3 male names and 1 female name, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just, I whatever works, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, Bob is not specifically a male name. God.
What was it? What was that character from the old SNL stuff? Pat. That's it. Put Pat on one. Anyway, Winston. So yeah, you guys got since you just picked them at random, you've got Egon, Peter, Winston, and Janine.
Yep.
Cool.
Egon. Yep. Okay. All right. So anyway,
When we get out, obviously having a quick sort of check